I gotta tell you about the time I was almost robbed. I'm gonna start sharing more of these stories because I think it will greatly encourage you to begin to listen for the voice of the Lord in your own life. It was around 3:30 and I was preparing to leave my house for a worship event. Suddenly I saw a man walking down the side of my house towards my backyard. Now I live on kind of a private property that's a bit displaced from the sidewalk. So if someone's walking down the side of my house, something's wrong. So I watched him for about 1 minute to see how far he was willing to go. And as he climbed the gate onto my side porch, I flung my door open in anger and shouted, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." I continued, "Since I just opened my door without disarming my alarm, you have 60 seconds before the cops show up." I was delirious and not acting wisely. He quickly jumped off of my porch and began to run down the walkway. And then I heard a still small voice say, "Call him back." So like a crazy woman, I called after him, "Come back!" He turned around and must have thought I was crazy because he kept running. So I said, "No, I promise I won't call the cops on you. Come back." At this point, I didn't know why I was calling him back. So he started walking back towards me with a confused look on his face. And when he arrived where I was standing, I said, "What's your name?" "Larry," he told me. Larry was a black man in his 50s or so, and I suddenly felt strong compassion for him. I could tell he had been down and out. I said, "Larry, we can't do this to each other. We have to begin to treat each other as neighbors. We have to honor and respect one another. Listen, Larry, this is my home. If you're hungry, let me know. Knock on the door and I'll feed you." It was then that I heard that still small voice give me specific knowledge about a situation Larry was experiencing with his family, specifically with his daughter. And so I shared with him what I believed God was telling me about his estranged relationship with his daughter. And Larry started weeping. "How did you know?" he said as he cried and cried. And so I just hugged him and said, "Larry, I'm going to pray for restoration of your family." After we were done, Larry looked like a new man. He had a lightness about him and he was smiling as he walked away saying, thank you, I needed this." Now, I don't share this to toot my own horn. I realize that my actions were dangerous and could have resulted in my harm. But I say this to make a point. Broken people do broken things. And every day we have a choice to react in anger or to respond in a way that brings restoration to that brokenness. Maybe engaging a robber isn't the right choice of action for you. But what are we missing because we're simply not listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit? When we live our lives in our feelings and our emotions, we miss out on so many opportunities to be agents of healing. So I encourage you to start listening for how you can be an agent of that healing. The world desperately needs it.